My name is Rex Rush, and I'm a AC Energy and Power instructor for 100 High School in 100, West Virginia. And today we're going to do a tutorial on Inventor, and I'm going to show you how to make your impeller for one of the Course 1 projects. So we are going to start with the file, new file, and standard IPT. Once the file comes up, it's giving you the notice about your units whenever you begin your file. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go to Tools, and we're going to click on Document Settings. We're going to click on our units, and we're going to turn the units into an inch because we want to deal with inches when we make our impeller. And then we're going to hit Apply. We're going to close that window out. We're going to go back to our model commands here. First thing we're going to do, we're going to start a 2D sketch. You want to click up here, and we want to place this sketch on the XZ plane. All right, notice that gives us a graph here. So the first thing we want to do on our impeller, we want to make the shaft hole. So for when we're drawing a circle, if we want something to snap to here to where we can have a 0 XY coordinate, this is where we start. So we're going to do a left click and move your cursor out, and then do a left click again, and it makes the circle. After you do each command, you want to hit right click, OK, and now we want to dimension this circle. Click on the dimension command, and we're going to dimension this circle to 0.1 inches. The reason why we make it 0.1 inches is the shaft on our motor is 0.125 inches, which is 1/8 of an inch, and we want that slightly smaller so it fits nice and snug on that the shaft of the motor. So now, if you want to zoom in and out of your drawing, you're going to want to roll your middle cursor ball. And you can zoom in by rolling the cursor ball down, or you can zoom out by moving it up. If you want to move the drawing itself around, you hold down on the middle cursor bar, and you can move it to wherever you need it. So we're going to zoom in here a little bit, recenter it, and now that we have that first dimension, we want to make our circle for the outside diameter of the piece, and we want to make that at a thickness. We're going to right click, OK, and we're going to make that at a thickness of 0.25 inches. So that's going to make the middle part of our impeller about 1/8 inch thick. That's what connects our fins together. So this outer circle is going to be 0.25 inches. We'll click OK. Now we're going to zoom out a little bit. Now we have one more circle that we need to draw in here, and that's the total diameter of our impeller itself. So for our impeller, we want to make that 15/16 of an inch. So we're going to go here to circle, we're going to snap back on that middle part here, and then we're going to bring it out. We're going to click, right click, OK, dimension, and we're going to click on this, and let's say I don't know my decimal for 15/16, so you can simply just type in 15 divided by, oops, sorry, you can type in 15 divided by, maybe, 15 divided by 16, and then hit the check button. And that gives us 0.9375 or 0.938, which is 15/16. So now, I want to make curved impeller blades, and you can choose to make whatever kind of impeller blades you would like, but I'm going to make the curved ones. So to make a curve, we're going to use this function called the arc command. Okay, and the arc command is a 3-point arc command, so we're going to click on it here, and you notice we want to draw it on this outside circle here in the middle. We do not want to snap to the grid line here, because if we do, we can't move the actual arc after we get done drawing it. So we're going to draw it off the side here. We're going to click once on the small circle, and then we're going to click a second left click again on the outside circle. And if you notice here, as I'm moving the arc in and out, it goes into different dimensions. So I want this arc to be about 1/4 of an inch of an arc. So I'm going to type in 0.25 and hit enter. Now we have an arc that is 0.25 inches. Next, we need to draw another arc to mirror that. So we're going to click here on the small circle, and then we're going to left click up here at the top. We're going to bring our arc out, and if you notice, when we move it around a little bit, we can see how it's changing dimensions. So we want this also to be 0.25, so we're going to click or type in 0.25 and then hit enter. Now we have an arc that both matches the front and the back at 0.25 inches. So we're going to right click, hit OK, because we're out of command now. Now I'm going to dimension this 2 points here to about 1/16 of an inch, because that's how thick our impeller blades are going to be. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit to where I can see these little squares here. I need these little squares so I can dimension from them. So I'm going to click this one, and click my dimension command, click this one, and click that square, and we're going to bring it up. So right now it has a dimension of 0.114. We're going to change that to 1/16. So you can either type in 1 divided by 16, or you can type in 0.0625. So I'm going to type in 0.0625, enter, and now if you notice, that brings our arc closer together, so that now both of our arcs of our impeller blade is 1/16 of an inch apart. You can also dimension from these two parts here, and if you notice it says 0.042, we're going to go 0.0625, and that gives us an even distribution of the impeller from the top and the bottom, noticing that it is snapped to the circle itself, and the outer circle and the smaller middle circle. So now when I want to extrude something, I have to do what we call, we're going to hit right click, OK, and then we're going to right click again, and we're going to hit finish 2D sketch. Okay, so once we hit that finish 2D sketch, that brings us into a part mode. So now we can extrude this to make it a 3D object. So we're going to click on our extrude button here. We're going to pick the pieces we want to extrude. Now as I highlight over this, you can see different parts get lighter or darker. We want to extrude these two parts here. We want to extrude this circle part, and we want to extrude the actual curved impeller part. So I'm going to click on the impeller here, this part, and I'm going to click on the circle part there. Now if I zoom out, you can see it's really big. So the depth of our impeller is going to be 3/8 of an inch. So once again, if I don't know my conversion tables, I can just type in 3 divided by 8 and hit OK. And now I have one part of my impeller blade. And if you need to see something rotated, you click over here to these rotation axis over here. And if you are rotating things around, you left click and hold on, you can move it all around. If you get confused where you're at, you can always hit this home button and it takes you back home. Okay? So I want to rotate this around to where I can see it like this. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to right click, OK, so I can get out of my orbit command. So now I want to put 6 blades on this impeller. So it's going to be really easy for us to do. So what we're going to do next, we're going to go to a command called the circular pattern. Okay? We're going to click on this circular pattern. We're going to click on this whole object here. Notice how the whole thing lights up and is highlighted. So now I'm going to click on it once, and that's my feature. So now I need to pick a rotation axis. So I want to click on the rotation axis, and I'm going to select the inside circle. Now I want 6 blades on this, and it's already defaulted at 6 blades. Okay? You can change that to any number you want. You can change it to 3, you can change it to 5, 8, or even 12 if you'd like. All right, but for my purposes and for the teaching of this impeller lesson, we're going to go with 6. Now if you notice, that revolves that equally around this outside circle to make our nice impeller. After we do that, we hit OK, and now we have our simple impeller that is totally open. Now, we have to make an area to where the water can come through the pump to pump out the water for the actual project for it to work. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to start another sketch on top of this here. Okay, and I want to cut this out just a little bit here so I can let the water flow down through while it's inside the pump, so we can pull the water through and put it out the output hole. So I'm going to click on the circle command again. I'm going to left click, pull it out, and notice how it snaps to this circle here. It turns black. So I'm going to click on that, and now right click, OK. If I dimension that, I should already automatically know that that's 0.25 inches. And there it is. It's 0.25 inches. So after I get done with this, I'm going to right click, OK, right click, finish 2D sketch. Now I'm going to go back and use the same extrude command that we used before to extrude out the part, except this time I want to cut this out a little bit. So I'm going to go to the feature here called cut. And if you notice on the cut feature here, it changed the direction down into the actual part. I don't want to go 3/8 of an inch. I want to go 1/8 of an inch. Okay? So I'm going to type in either 1/8 or 0.125, whichever you prefer. So I'm going to type in 0.125. And now I can see that just cut this portion out here to let the water come through. So I'm going to hit OK. Now, as I rotate this around, we have our impeller, an open blade impeller that will work perfectly on our DC motor for our project. We're going to go back to home here, and now you're finished and you have your first impeller made for your Course 1 project. Thanks for watching.